my gosh.
Well, welcome to the Crazy Dre podcast show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here I am back again doing some more baseball stuff. Today I'm going to talk about the Kansas City Royals beating Detroit Tigers in Detroit. The 4-game series, Detroit won the first 3, so they won the series. Could have they swept them? Yes, but they didn't. There were a couple of errors that led the Tigers to lose the game in the late innings, but I'll get to that in a minute. Skubal pitched a pretty good game. The Kansas City Royals seem to like his pitching. They seem to get his number pretty well. Skubal did have 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs. He gave up 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. His ERA is 2.83. He did a draw. He drew a draw, not a win or loss, because Detroit Tigers scored in the 5th inning to tie the game 2-2. But it's just one of those things that, sometimes your ace pitcher has bad games against teams that can kind of figure him out. So, going on from that, let's just talk about the game itself. In the top of the first, nothing really happens with the Kansas City Royals. One guy's ground. India grounds out. Uh, Bobby Witt lines lines out, and Salvador Perez also grounds out. He's actually playing Salvador Perez is playing first base today. But that was a shock to me because he's always a catcher. Maybe they're trying to save his knees and preserve him for the longer part of the year. He is playing his 14th season. He had 1 year off for injury. But going to the bottom of the first, this is when Detroit did have a chance to score. Um, Detroit, Torres was grounded out. Kerry Carpenter singles to right field. Uh, Zach McKinstry strikes out. Spencer Torkelson is still on a hot streak. He at that time in the beginning of the game he was OPS 778. I think I saw, but he singles to right field, and Kerry Carpenter goes to third. Riley Green has an opportunity to get Carpenter in. He then grounds out to second base. Um, Green's, maybe he's a little chilly. He's on and off. He's been off a little bit. He did get off that cold streak of 0-20 about 3 games ago. Top of the second, though. Um, this is when the Royals scored the first 2 runs. Malik Garcia singles uh, to right field. Hunter Renfroe also singles, so there's a man on first and third for the Royals. And then Vinny Pasquantino, he lines drive to right to center field. Hunter Redford to third, and then Garcia scores to make it 1-0. Kansas City. Drew Waters singles to center field, and then Hunter Renfroe scores. Uh, the inning ends by Jonathan India uh, striking out. The bottom of the second for Detroit, nothing really happens. A ground out for Dillinger, ground out for Colt Keith, strikeout for Trey Sweeney. Uh, Third inning, a couple flyouts for Bobby Witt Jr. and Perez. Mark Canyon, he's just one of those guys. He's just wherever he goes, he's just always hitting the ball. Detroit had him for a couple of years. He was a very key player in injuries. Certain players got injuries, certain situations where we needed him to play. In Detroit, he's now with Kansas City. Gets a single on with the Kansas City on top of the third. Uh, Garcia, this is the only walk that Skubal gives up for a walk to Garcia. The end of the inning, for the Kansas City by Hunter Redford to ground out. Uh, Bottom of the third for Detroit, nothing happens again. Uh, Baez uh, fly out, a Torres ground out, Carpenter ground out. The fourth inning, uh, the only person that made it on base was Drew Waters for the Kansas City uh, Royals. Everyone else, from Pescatino to Furman to India, they were out. Pesquito struck out, Freddie Furman struck out, and then India flew, flew out. The bottom of the fourth, Detroit again has a couple guys on that they left on base. They did leave six guys on base through the whole game, I think. So Zach McKinstry, a long at bat. He then gets a single. Spencer Torkelson then flies out. Uh, Riley Green forced out um, to Salvador Perez, and then Zach McKinstry also out at second. Riley Green out at first, so the double play ball. Um, and then Dylan Dillinger strikes out on three strikes. So top of the fifth, Bobby Witt again. He's a hot player. He's one of those guys that you got to keep your eyes on. Even when he makes it on base, you have to kind of throw the ball at him at base to keep him tight. He then singles, and then he's on first. Uh, Perez is out on a pop out. Mark Cannon flies out, and then this is Dillinger's. This is something that's great for Detroit. They have a backup catcher who's going to be someday probably going to be a starter. Uh, Dillinger uh, uh, throws out Bobby Witt from going to first to second. So this is one of the two plays that Dillinger does really well. Catches the Kansas City Royals from stealing. So that's very good news for Detroit to have a catcher that can also hit, play defense, call pitches for with the pitcher. Going to the bottom of the fifth, Colt Keith finally gets a hit to right field. Trey Sweeney backs that up with a hit, and then Colt Keith to third base. Baez strikes out. Torres pops out. Kerry Carpenter with two strikes on him again. A guy that does a lot of great things with two strikes. Kerry Carpenter singles to right field. Everything that it's going on seems to be going to right field, but Kerry Carpenter singles to right field. Colt Keith scores. Trey Sweeney's at third to make it 2-1. Detroit is making their comeback. Zach McKinstry singles. Again, McKinstry, long at bats. Um, Trey Sweeney scores. Kerry Carpenter is second. Um, to end the inning, Spencer Torkelson pops out to the shortstop. This is when Detroit makes the pitching change, brings in Brent Herter. Uh, I guess he's the guy that they like for Detroit to pitch 3 innings when needed. Torkelson did have a lot of pitches thrown. Uh, uh, a lot of Kansas City hits were from pitches from changeups that they kind of got fooled, but they also um, stuck with their game plan and was semi-aggressive, but was able to see the changeup and then to readjust. That's what got um, uh, Skubal's pitch count so high. Uh, Tigers scored to make it 2-2. It was a good way to end Skubal's night for that night, for the day, as I stutter. Uh, but at the top of the sixth, there's really not much off going on. Michael Garcia gets on first base. Hunter Redford pops out. Vinny Pasquito strikes out, and then Malik Garcia gets caught stealing. There's two guys that Dillinger catches right there. That's Dillinger, folks. Dillinger is the man. Dillinger is going to be our uh, full time catcher in the future because he's just able to do just about anything that you ask him. When Jake Rogers comes back, I'm sure they're going to rotate him back and forth. Bottom of the sixth, Riley Green strikes out. Dillinger gets on second base because of a throwing error by the third baseman Jonathan India. India seems to be, I guess he moved from second or shortstop to third base, but that's just when you're not used to those positions, you're gonna make errors. Detroit got lucky. They didn't do much again. Uh, um, Justin Henry Malone, a pitch hitter for Colt Keith. I don't know why they did that. To me, that was just kind of curious because Colt Keith was just getting high. He got a hit about an inning ago, I think, 2 innings ago. Uh, yeah, Colt Keith got a hit in the sixth, and then for some reason uh, they pitch hit for him. So I don't know why they did that with Justin Henry Merlot pitch hit for Colt Keith. Maybe it's because the pitcher, uh, it's because Lynch the fourth was replaced by, I mean, Michael Wacha was replaced by Daniel Lynch the fourth. So that's probably why they pitch hit for him. Trey Sweeney grounds out to make 3 outs. The seventh inning, uh, Justin Henry Miller remains as the DH. Uh, Furman for the Kansas City grounds out. Water strikes out. Jonathan India strikes out. And then the bottom of the seventh, uh, Baez gets a single to center field. Uh, uh, Torres is up to bat. He then uh, he basically forces the defense to get Baez out on second. Torres is safe on first. It's kind of based on of Fielder's choice. Kerry Carpenter's gets another hit. Uh, so Torres is on second, and Kerry Carpenter is on first. Zach McKinstry singles again, and then Kerry Carpenter scores to make it 3-2. Uh, this is uh, this is when the Kansas City makes a pitching change. There's a bases loaded. Green is up to bat, and then Green gets forced into I think a double play. Uh, goes from uh, goes from Freddie Furman as a catcher, goes to Perez on first base, and then go back to the catcher to make it to make a double play. That really made no sense. I just started my way out of that one. Uh, in the eighth inning, Detroit makes an error. Bobby Witt makes it to second base. I'm sorry. Bobby Witt reaches by a throwing error and makes it to second base. The error is thrown by Javier Baez on third base, thrown to Torkelson. This is something that, even though Detroit is very good on the error plus error, the ratio, it can catch up to you. This is one of the key points of the Detroit Tigers game why they lost the game. They had to lead 3-2. Bobby Witt gets mixed it on second. Uh, Mark Kenyon makes a key hit to score Bobby Witt from second to make it 3-3. The game is tied. Uh, and then the ending ends by Hunter Redford strikes out, and I guess, and again, I didn't go through Garcia flying out either. In the ninth, in the bottom of the eighth, Detroit's up to bat. Dillinger strikes out. Henry strikes out, and then Trey Sweeney pops out. Top of the ninth, another pitching change. Tyler Horton replaces Tommy Kane. Um, Vinny Pesquito strikes out and then grounds out Freddie Furman, the catcher. And then uh, Drew Waters strikes out. And then the bottom of the ninth, Detroit doesn't really do anything. Uh, Bias grounds out. Torres flies out, and then Ryan Criddler strikes out. Ryan Criddler came in the game to play. I think he played uh, center field. Carpenter went out. Riley Greens went to right field, and I think McKinstry. Not really sure, but but going on from that, the 10th inning. This is when Detroit loses the game. Uh, Jonathan India grounds out uh, Drew Waters to third. Bobby Witt sacrifice fly, and then Waters scores. And then Detroit can't really do much. They pop out. Zach McKinstry pops out. Uh, um, uh, uh, Spencer Torkelson flies out. They intentionally walk uh, uh, Green for some reason. I don't know why, but then Dillinger pops out to make the end of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, um, that was kind of rusty and crusty, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm strongly trying to learn how to do this, but Detroit lost the game. The Padres coming to town for 2 games series, I think, uh, against Detroit. Um, but Detroit is a very hot team. Let's see if they can keep it going. I'd like to thank you for listening to the podcast. Please come back. I may talk about other things during the week, depending on the game tomorrow. There's the Pistons game and the Tigers game. I may talk about Detroit. The next following podcast I do about sports. I am planning on doing a podcast um, about my thoughts, my feelings. It's a particular person that keeps coming back into my life and by default, and it's really weird. Don't plan on having her in my life ever again, but there's a mysterious connection that we have, and I just can't really explain it. But I'll talk about that. I may talk about Katy Perry now and is an astronaut uh, by chance. I may talk about that shooting in Florida State University. I haven't decided yet, but keep peace, love, and I am out of here, folks.